Hello, I'm Amanda with CES, and I'm here just to do a little tutorial on how to use iMovie and just some basic editing that you can do. Feel free to share this as a resource among anyone who's interested in contributing stories for the My Community app project. So here we go. When you first open iMovie on your iMac, you'll come to this project screen here. And we're just going to go create new. And you get the option of doing a movie or a trailer. The trailer is a little more complicated. So I think for the purposes of this project, just always select movie. And here we go. So it'll just take a moment to set up here. So, right. So what you'll see is this is just the layout when you create a new project. This is where you import any of the media that you want to use to create your project. So it could be a combination of photos and videos. Down here is your timeline. So this is where you build and create your movie. And this little screen here is where you can do some editing and preview what you created so far. So that's just a little walkthrough. So for this little demo, I have just gathered a few photos from Georgina Island. And I also just took a little video just from my balcony of my home office. So just to have that show you the capabilities of video editing as well. So first I'm just going to start by importing all the media here. So you can just select everything. Okay, so before you import new media, you just want to select My Movie. So every time you create a new movie, it's always just titled My Movie by default. And then when you're finished it, or you want to kind of close it off and go to something else, that's the moment that you will have the opportunity to actually name the video you're creating. So I'm just going to add this media here. And all you do is just a simple drag and drop. And now all of those are now part of your media. So what we're gonna do, just to get started, all you do is click from your media and just drag it to your timeline. And so by default, if you drag any photos, it'll automatically run for a 4-second period. So you have the opportunity to make it go longer, say if you want for 4.6 seconds or 10 seconds. It's up to you. You can make it as long or as short as you want. Another thing that automatically will happen when you put a photo down here into your timeline, as you can see, the image kind of zooms out. So how to change and edit that? You go to this little section. This little window allows you to edit, and that is the crop function. So when you click on crop, it's called the Ken Burns option. So as you can see, this is the starting window, the frame here, and then it ends on that frame. So say if you wanted to start zoomed in even more, you can change, the angles, you can do that. And then maybe we want it to still end kind of zoomed out. So it just makes the photo a little more interesting than if you were just to have it just standing still. So it's a really nice feature when adding photos to create a video story. To watch what you created, you just go down to your timeline and you click anywhere with your mouse, and then there's a starting line that will happen. So you can either go over here and press play, or you can just use the space bar on your keyboard and the video will start to play. and you can press the space bar again and it'll pause. So that's another nice feature. We're just going to go ahead and put a few more photos. And as you can see, they all go for that 4-second default. And it will just automatically do that Ken Burns option. So if you want to change the zoom function or what it's focusing on, you have the ability to do so. So I added all these different photos, and as you can see, there's just this little space in between each of them. So right now there's no transitions between each photo, so it just kind of jumps to the next one. So to make a really nice, seamless video when you go from photo to photo, up here, you'll have some additional editing and formatting options to choose. So what we want to do is click on transitions. And these allow you to do a variety of different types of transitions. Some are a little more advanced and kind of crazy, but I think it's better to keep things more simple and try to choose and stick to one throughout the video you're making, so it doesn't look, it's those transitions aren't distracting for your audience. So one that's really great and kind of a go-to is the cross dissolve. So it's just a nice soft cross dissolve from photo to photo, making it look a little nicer. And again, you just drag and drop. So it's iMovie is really user intuitive that way. So now we have some nice transitions between each of our photos. Next, we're going to add a title, and titles are really great to use. Oh, there we go. Just when you want to provide an explanation for something, or maybe you want to have each video have a nice title page to it, which goes related to branding your videos and having that consistent look and feel to everything that you are sharing. So it's just something to think about. And again, there's all these built-in options that you can use. So there's some that are a little animated. There's some more simple ones. And I think for the purposes of this, we'll just use a nice simple one to begin with. There's some that, have the, very simple name description. So this one, again, you can have the titles be standalone in front of an image, or you can layer the titles to go alongside a photo. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like if we just add one to a photo. So I added one to the first photo. So it's the name and description. And again, you can make it longer or shorter. So we're just going to line this one up to, there we go, the length of the image here. And to edit it, you just click on it down here. And then again, you move to this area is the editing area. So we're just going to do, welcome to Georgina Island. Storytelling project. So when you make edits for text, you always have to remember to check this box, and then that way it'll apply the title adjustments. So I like that title, so I'm just going to do that. And so if we go back to the beginning here, your title will appear for that photo. So that's what it looks like. So titles are really great way, just especially when you're doing interviews, you want the viewer to know who the person is you're interviewing. You can also, use the titles in this feature if you want any subtitles or content like that, or any subjects or names of things in the videos that you're describing. So titles come in handy for that. And again, it's being consistent with what you use, and you don't have to do anything like crazy and fancy like this pixie dust thing, unless you want. Maybe the kids will have fun with that option, but it can get a little distracting. So now say if you want to add some nice background music, there's the audio feature here. And through the iMovie program, there's a bunch of sound effects from birds singing. And right now I'm in the jingles section. So those are just little songs. There's also this theme music you could add, animal noises, ambiance. There's and just to hear the sample, you just hover over what you want to hear, and there's a play button here. So we can just see what it's a nice waterfall. There's a canoe paddle, nice and relaxing. Maybe we'll choose that one. And then again, like everything in this program, you just select it and then drop it to the bottom here. We'll have it start at the beginning. So when you select your audio, you have the ability to change the volume. So here's the volume button. Right now it's at 100%. So say we just want this canoe just to be nice and soft in the background. So we'll just have it around 30%. And yeah, you can lower the volume of other clips if you want. This comes in handy for interviews and people talking during clips. So you want to be able to hear the person talking over, any other background noise. So if we're going to be adding an interview and someone sharing a story, when you select that audio, you want to click this button, lower volume of other clips. So that's a nice feature. So right now we have our nice canoe paddle in the background. I'm going to go back to my media. And now I'm going to, as you can see, when we added the canoe paddle, it added into our media files. So say if you selected an audio file, but you couldn't remember the title, don't worry, just click back to my media and you'll find it there. So, so no worries about that. So I'm just going to select the actual video I took from my balcony, and I'm going to drag it into the timeline. And yeah, so there's a lot more different edit functions that you can do to the actual videos than with regards to the photos that we added below. So I'm just going to show a few things that you can do for that. So first, as you can see, I took the video when it was kind of on a bright, sunny afternoon. So maybe you want to change the color. We're going to kind of just darken it a little so it's not as overcast. Maybe we'll just darken that a little and darken, maybe we'll make it a little brighter this way. So you can adjust the colors, which is like a nice function. If you took a video and your hand was a little shaky, then you can use this image stabilization. When doing things like interviews, it's very important to use a tripod. So always go that route. But if you do one kind of more spur of the moment and don't have a tripod, then you could try this stabilized shaky video feature when you're editing. So again, when you just hover over and then you can kind of preview the video and how it looks. So since this video, it wasn't an interview, I don't really want to keep the audio part of it. So what you can do is you select it. So when it's highlighted like that, and then you go up here to modify, and you could detach the audio from that video. So when I do that, you have the ability to delete it. You could edit the sound again by selecting it and then going and editing the sound. And you have a variety of different cool features that you can do. So for the purposes of this, I'm just going to delete it because the background music will be nicer than the background music from this video. Also, if I scroll kind of further down on the video, I caught a little glimpse of my awning. Yeah, if you can see in the top right corner there, doesn't look so good. So I'm going to cut that out. So when it starts to make an appearance is right about here. So I'm just going to select, you just press down there. So I made a little stop there, and you can go to modify, and then you want to split clip. So this is really good for a function for when you're doing interviews as well. And say if there's those little pauses or blips where, you know, people start laughing, or maybe you want to cut out the voice of the person that's interviewing and asking questions. So that's where you use that split clip, because then these become two separate clips. So for this one, it's not very nice having that little you know, flapping in the right hand corner. So I'm just going to delete it. So it's a really good function if you just want to take out those little parts of a video and kind of break it down a little more. So yeah, that's splitting the clips. Say if you wanted to add audio, say if I wanted to say something right about this point in the video that I'm making, this little mic button here, you press that, and then there's a record button that comes up, and this is where you can do a little voiceover. So if you hit start recording, say 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome to Georgina Island. You hit stop. So then it recorded my voice down here. It's now available here in my media. And say I want to adjust the volume. I want to, lower the volume of other clips. Great. I'll have that one at 100%. So, that's adding the video. And then it's nice just to finish with a little transition at the end. So I'm just going to do another cross dissolve here. And yeah, if you wanted to add a title, you just go back to titles. We'll just do the first one here for the purposes of that. We'll edit it here. And then you remember to click the blue box here. And then say if we wanted some sort of ending, we can do the same thing here. Change that. So yeah, that's just a very easy way of doing some simple edits in iMovie, adding titles, photos and videos, and how to edit them, doing little voiceover, adding audio. And yeah, the best, like most things, is just to play around with this program, get familiar with it, and have fun while doing it. Work together as a group, get each other's feedback and little tips. So I hope this video was helpful, and please share with anyone you think that would find it useful. And I wish you all the best in your training session, and have a great day.